Hello and welcome to the 𝗨𝗴𝗀𝗀𝗀 podcast with your host Chris Holland. Today is a quick podcast just to give you a bit of an idea if you're in that design phase, you're dealing with a builder, potentially you've paid a deposit, maybe you've not, you're looking at floor plans, but you're on a bit of a budget. So what I want to do is give you 5 quick and easy items that I think you should consider, including at this stage of the build or prior to it starts building essentially, which isn't going to break the bank too much.
Welcome property investors. This is the 𝗨𝗴𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 podcast. If you're a property investor or you're curious about investing in property in Western Australia, this is the podcast for you. The reason for that is we're not going to hold back. We're not going to sugarcoat things. We're certainly not going to bullshit you, and we're going to exploit everything that you need to know. There's a lot of negative press at the moment in WA regarding building, and it doesn't have to be. So what we're going to do is help you navigate through that bullshit and create your wealth free of charge. We're just giving you this information. Every month we're going to have special guests on who are industry professionals, and then we're going to release an episode every single Monday, so you're not going to miss anything. So please stay tuned, like, subscribe so you never miss anything, and enjoy.
Straight into it, guys. Number 1, a wider entrance door. An 820 comes standard for majority of builders, and there's 3 extra options. Well, actually, there's 4 extra options. Depending on the configuration of your house design and your block size. Number 1, we can increase an 820 door to a 920. That extra 100mm makes all the difference when it comes to getting furniture in and out. Something that clients normally don't consider when they're moving into a property is access for the big L-shaped couches and dining room tables and whatnot. So even increasing it 100mm to a 920 makes this quite easily. The next standard door size up is a 1020, and this one visually you can see a big difference from an 820 to a 1020 when you pull up to your house and your driveway and you've got that nice big beautiful front door. The next one on top of this is a 1200. Now in my advice, this is the best looking front door that you can add, but I would also increase the height of it as well to a 2340. A standard door height is 2040, so an extra 300mm higher and potentially nearly 400mm wider makes it look massive. The cost of this shouldn't cost anywhere over $500, so it's a very small price to include at the start of the build, but it's a big game changer. Lastly, if you've got a massive entranceway, let's go double doors. Let's add 2 820s, which takes us up to 1640 opening. And yeah, obviously big French doors, you can have them frosted, glazed, whatever. Now, there is an option, obviously, to have aluminium double glazed entrance doors, which are becoming more and more popular, but this is a big cost increase. So my recommendation is increasing it, if possible, if your house and land size allows it, to a 1200 wide front door, and increase the height at 2340. Most consultants that you're dealing with at the design phase will not be offering this because they don't know the prices off the top of their head. Ask the question, get prices, don't wait to pre-start, because by then, number 1, your design may not allow it, and number 2, once you've paid a deposit and you've locked into that PPA or that standard house floor plan, the price to increase it at pre-start will increase significantly, because the truth is, by that point, they've got your money. Number 2, again, I think this should be standard. It's standard in our home designs, but your alfresco, so your entertaining area, normally at the back of the house, or sometimes these newer modern designs are having the alfresco in the mid-range of the house, increase the ceiling height to 30 courses. So what is a course? In WA, we deal everything on the external and internal of a house in terms of the height and way of courses. A course is 86mm. It's a standard brick, which is your smaller bricks. Generally, you have a small brick and a big brick for your face brick. So, yeah, 86mm is a standard coursing. So, most builders will give you 28, but read the plans. Some will only give you 25. And basically, I'm 6 foot tall. If it's a 25 course ceiling, I can touch it just by putting my hand in the air. So, it's not ideal. It makes the area feel small. Generally, these alfrescos are getting smaller and smaller, but this is going to be your entertaining area potentially, or your barbecue area. I think it should be increased significantly to 30 courses. It will make the area feel bigger. Number 3, skirting boards. It's one of my biggest bugbearers. It just seems no builders include it in their standard specification. I don't know why. It's not a huge cost. If you've got a 4x2 reasonably sized house, you're maybe looking at $2,000 to $3,000 extra. Oh, sorry, actually, I didn't give you a price for the number 2. So to increase the ceiling in your alfresco should cost you no more than $2,000. Okay, maximum. If it's more than that, run, because they're just going to sting you for the sake of stinging you. And number 3, skirting boards. As we're a timber frame builder, 80% of our homes that we build are timber frame. Skirting boards and architraves come included. However, we include them in our double brick range as well. But most other builders don't. Now, I just think it finishes the house off nicely, especially if you've got a nice walkway or your main living area. Maybe you're going to have your TV hung on the wall as such, rather than behind a buffet table or whatever. Skirting boards, I think, just really finish off. If you've got timber flooring, it looks amazing. If you've got tiles, yeah, it's good as well. You just got to make sure the tiles are laid correctly and basically they're level. Otherwise, you will see some imperfections in your skirting. But for a small cost of approximately $2,000 or $3,000, I think skirting boards should just be a standard. Number 4, solar panels. It's not that expensive, and it's a very small cost, between $3,500 and $5,000 on the scale of a $400,000 or $500,000 property, to add solar panels to your build. Now, doing it now will be a lot cheaper than getting it done afterwards. Yes, you're going to pay the builder a little bit of markup on the price of the solar panels, but while the electrician's there, you know what I mean? It's just easier. The other thing about solar panels, which does happen after the fact, is most often than not, when the solar panels are installed, basically the installers come and send a couple of apprentices. Occasionally you'll get a licensed person with them, but mostly for the bigger solar companies, they send someone out with an apprentice or with 2 apprentices. Now, when they penetrate the roof, there's obviously a chance for water ingress, which is just going to piss you off over the years, essentially, because essentially it just gets siliconed around. If you get it done by the builder, you've got a lifetime warranty. If there's any damage or water ingress, at least the builder will take the responsibility to ensure it's fixed, and or it shouldn't leak anyway. But again, if you're hiring a third party after the fact, 9 times out of 10, you'll end up with a bit of a water leak. So again, for $3,500 to $5,000 approximately, depending on, there's a few variables, but essentially that is the price range. I think solar panels are just a must in WA, to be honest. Number 5, the cheapest of all the upgrades that I think very regularly gets overlooked, but it's something so simple, especially if you're a first home buyer and your budget's a bit tight. In your shower, we can add a shower niche, it's called. Now, it doesn't matter if it's tile or brick or steel construction. Adding a shower niche into your shower just makes all the difference. You don't need to hang something up on the shower screen to hold your soap, your shampoo, your body wash, whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's also a pretty cool feature, and you can get quite creative with them. So you can put waterproof LED lights around there if you wanted to, or you can just finish it off. Instead of mitering the tiles, which is normally what happens, put like a nice aluminium trim that matches your shower frame, whether it's black, chrome, whatever, brass. I think it's a good contrast. Now, these come in different sizes. Obviously, you can make it whatever size you want, but if you get them prefab, they can be 600 by 600, which is suffice for a single applicant. But if you're a couple, you know what I mean, and like everyone showers. We shower every day, morning, night, whatever. Some of you manky bastards don't, but you should be showering morning and night. Add a shower niche, just to store whatever it is you have in your shower, whether it's your toothbrush or whatever, and you don't have them sitting at your feet and it just looks a little bit untidy. Shower niches, honestly, in a timber frame home, $150. There is absolutely no reason you cannot add this in. If the builder quotes you more than $500, it's one of them. You have to get it done at this stage. It's not something you can really add in after while it's all tiled and waterproofed. So, yep, be prepared to pay up to $500, but a decent builder will only charge you about $150 per shower niche. And go mad. If you've got 2 showers, put 2 in there. Don't just leave it to the ensuite, because all these little things will add value on your property when it comes to selling. So there's 5 quick tips, guys, that I think should be considered if you can afford it. Now, if you can't afford it, speak to your builder, get a payment plan, add this in as a variation before signing contract, and ask them if they'll let you pay it off during the construction. So if you went with all 5 of them, you're under $10,000. And yeah, depending on the builder you're going with, it might take 12 months, or with us, it will take 6 months. Most builders will be pretty lenient and letting you pay that off over the construction. But it's something, or most things, that can't be done after the fact. And it's the most common when you're in company of someone who's built a house. Oh, congratulations, your house looks amazing. The longer you live in the house, the more you look at it, the more you're going to see things that, God, I wish I'd done. So these are my top 5 tips that you should add in at the design phase. Once again, guys, thanks for subscribing. Please continue to listen in. If there's any topics you want to talk about, or you want me to explore or discover or dive into, just hit me up on my email. And other than that, thanks for all the support. The page and the channel is growing significantly, with a lot of engagement from you guys. So I really do appreciate it. And we only have a couple of months left till Christmas. So let's see if we can do something a bit fun towards the end of the year. But thanks for tuning in, guys. Cheers.